Welcome back to Smok'n Jay's Garage. Today I'm going to show you how to put a new airbag cover on your C6 Corvette. When we get in there, I'll show you how to pull your steering wheel off as well. You don't need to pull your steering wheel off for this, but since everything is going to be taken off, the airbag's already going to be off, I'll show you how to do that as well. Now, the very first thing that I did is I disconnected the negative on my battery because I do not want this airbag to accidentally go off when I'm poking at it or when I'm going inside there, when I'm unplugging it, stuff like that. If you have a C6 or a C7 Corvette, anytime that you disconnect the battery, I would recommend that you open up your door, open up your windows, stuff like that, because as you know, electronic door handles, I also leave my back hatch open so I can pull the handle from there. I can reach in the door because I've got the windows open. I left the driver's side door open because that's where I'm going to be going in and out of. But I opened up the passenger window as well, just in case. That's something I do. Let me get you in there a little bit closer, and I'll show you what you got to do and how to pull it off. All right, we're inside here. You need a small Allen wrench. I'm using a 2.5 millimeter, and you are going to put it in this hole right here. And there is one on the other side as well, right there. Those two holes are where you are going to poke in your Allen wrench or something of that sort. And I've already popped mine off. This is the single hardest thing in my opinion. Now this is not spring loaded. If you are familiar with a Ford, on these prongs right here, that would be spring loaded so that when you pop it off, it pops out. But this you actually have to pull off yourself. So what you're doing is you're trying to get in, see if I can get this so that you can see it, so you see actually what you're trying to do. So you're trying to get your, right here on this pin right here, you're trying to get inside of that hole, and it's going to be on the same on either side, and you are moving that pin right there, and it's going to move out of this hole right there. As you can see that moving right over here, you're just going to pop that, just push it over, and then you're going to pull slightly up on it. As you can see that little bit that's moving, and that is what is hooking right over here. Well, actually, it's actually hooking on this side, but that's what's happening. So on both of those, you're going to pull those two off. Once you have that done, now remember, we do have our battery disconnected already. We're just going to pop up on the airbag. Maybe you can do it by hand, or maybe a small screwdriver. Either way, these are color coordinated, so you will be able to put them back on. And then you're going to pinch right here on the outsides on both of them. Pinch up, and you might have to wiggle a little bit. Ah! That wasn't supposed to happen. And we're going to pop this up. There we go. And now this is completely disconnected. So, we'll show you how to pull the air. Well, I got that little yellow piece in my mouth. I got to pull that out. So if you were pulling your steering wheel off, this nut right here, that's all you got to do. You take that nut off, and your steering wheel will pull right off. You may have to tap on it. I've gone around and kind of, tapped on all the sides just to loosen it up a little bit, and you'll slide the steering wheel right off. And you'll have to watch out because you will have to pull this connection out right here, and you'll have to disconnect that to actually get it off all the way. So we're going to go to the bench, and we will go ahead and we'll show you how to pull that airbag cover off, and we'll put that new fancy one back on. All right, as you can see, I use the term workbench rather loosely. I am on the back of my pickup truck here, and I don't know how I can do this with both hands. I need both hands. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to show you, but I'll do my best. So I got just my little screwdriver here, and I'm going to go underneath here, right, and I'm just going to kind of pry those up. And as you can see, I have done this side already. I've got all of these loose. I've got all of these loose. So I've just got to hit up this side and this side. And all I'm doing is prying that up like so. I kind of need both hands to do this. These are close enough together. You're going to have to kind of hit two of them at the same time. Hold it a little bit while you're pulling that up. So I'm going to do the rest of those, and then I'll be back to show you how it looks afterwards, all right? All right, as you can see, I have them all loose, and we're just going to, hopefully you're not getting a glare there, we're just going to slowly wiggle this out. very carefully. There's your airbag. You don't want to, I don't think that's going to come apart very easily, but you don't want to get that apart, obviously. And then we're just going to slide it right into our new spot. And all of those little clips that we put in, we're going to put them back. And they're probably going to be a little bit harder to go this way. I'm just going to use my screwdriver, and I'm just going to keep prying these in here. I'll get through here, and I will show you how this looks after I've got the rest of them in. So the airbag has a little bit of give to it, and what I found to be easier is to really press down on that, and then I used my screwdriver too, and I pried that up a little bit, and then it was squished a little bit, so in order to get all those tabs to really come out nicely, there's a couple little pieces here. I just grabbed my finger in there and I just kind of pull the airbag back up so that I wouldn't be in too far for my my pins to catch when I put it back in. So it looks like we are all ready to go back in. We got every single one of those all put in right, and this is what our old one looks like. I think that this suede leather is going to look a lot nicer, and that we can use this one. Now, if you were to just want to change your inner piece here, your center, sometimes you can just buy these. You would take the back side there and you would just pry up all of these little clips, and then you would be able to just pull this straight out. If you had a new one, push that one in and close up those tabs. So if all you want to do is change the center, that's all you'd have to do, and then you'd put it back in the same one. Let's head back over to the car and put this back in now. Alright, hopefully you can see what we've got going on over here. We are going to plug these back in, obviously pink into pink and white into white. Make sure that we get those plugged in right. There we go. You should hear that little click. I don't know if you could hear that little click. I could hear a little click. And then we're just going to line this right up here. And you should be able to hear both of them click in. There we go. And that's all set in. I don't know if I'm perfectly happy. I don't know if you can see this with the light, but this black, I had these made at different companies. This black is just a little bit different than this black. It's a little bit darker. It's a little bit lighter. So I'm a little bit bummered out about that. Should have probably had them both made at the same company so they would match perfectly. But it definitely looks nicer. And I'll give you a little closer look too. This doesn't line up quite as good as maybe it could. We'll see. Some of that might be mine too. So let me get you a little closer, and I'll give you a shot of what it looks like up close. All right. All right. I'll be honest. I am not loving the two different shades of black here. Both. Like I said, I had them made at different companies. The steering wheel and the airbag cover are both good quality. Just this company's version of black and this company's version of black is just a little bit off. I'm not sure if that's going to bug me enough that I'm going to want to replace it. You can see it from a little bit farther away. I got the light behind me. Hopefully we get a... Well, now you just got me as a shadow in there. You can definitely see the difference. Try to get you in there without the shadow. Having a hard time with that, as you can see. But that's how it turned out. Well, there you have it. That's how it's done. All we got to do is hook up our battery and make sure everything works. We'll probably have to reset the presets on our radio and possibly the clock. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll give it a try. We'll see if those two different colors bug me enough that I end up having to buy a new one from a different company or something to make sure that they are the same. But everything went pretty smoothly. So if you're watching this channel for the first time and you haven't already, and you want to, boom, please subscribe.